yeah!
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to
Hi there.
Saturday.
Oh gosh, my cat's run away.
Hey, hey guys.
Hi.
Good morning, Warren. How was your weekend so far?
It's been good. It's been good. Can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that kind of cuts the show in half if you can't complain about anything.
Yeah. Gotta try harder.
Good morning, Kitty. How are you?
Good evening, good morning. I'm good, thanks, and you? I'm feeling much better
I'm so
after
glad.
yesterday. Yeah.
So glad. Andrew Clark says, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Andrew.
No, not nice to meet you. You must say no to Andrew.
Oh, I must say no to Andrew?
Yeah, just say no.
Just
It's a
say
joke. Because I kept, in a video game, I kept spamming. When somebody was said nice to meet you, I kept putting the wrong thing and it kept saying no. So yeah, it's the joke.
Well, a challenge was put to me last week about the opening intro containing the subjects of which we were going to be talking about today.
And you did it again.
And so I did it. I did it again. And
I liked
it
it.
was quite a fun little intro video. And did you enjoy it, Chill?
Yeah, it was a cool intro video. I saw it all. I didn't.
Hey,
just
Chill.
here. I was here the entire time watching, and I enjoyed the intro video from introduction, and I can't wait for the outro video.
I think it was cool also that you had it. You could post it like as the reminder that stream was coming. So it's like to show what we're talking about. Having it as like the little video on Twitter and things like that was cool.
Yeah, like a little teaser trailer.
Yeah,
if you will. So, but that's something that I thought I could do, and Andrew Clark says lol because he got the joke, I didn't, but that's okay.
now you're in on it.
Now I'm in on it, and I'll be
Yeah.
able to do those things and enjoy those, if you will.
Kitty, for a moment, I thought that was purple dyed hair. I was like, are you going to the SJW side?
You know what? Maybe never do it.
What's interesting is that I can't see either you or Chill. I just see a black screen on my end. So
That's weird.
It's good that other people are able to see your camera.
Each other. I can see everybody.
Yeah, it's probably my setup, something to do with what's going on here. But I'm just going to live with it because I remember what you look like.
I got a haircut.
Did you? Did
Yeah.
you now? How drastic a change is that?
Oh, I got the same SJW look.
Oh my goodness! What a surprise to me.
I did too, actually, because I also got my hair cut very short, but it made me androgynous, so I suppose it works out.
So, wait, are you applying for a Disney job? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. And then, I like that idea. I'm going to take that idea. I'm going to make my hair purple. Yeah.
We could be the new Stitch.
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah. Did you see who they cast for the sister, Nani?
Nani? Yeah.
Is it a topic?
It's not one of the topics, but we can talk about it. Absolutely.
Well, I just mean to say that the casting was done. I don't remember the name of the Hawaiian actress, but her skin tone is a lot lighter than what we would expect from the cartoon. So maybe when they start shooting, they will tan her up or do some.
I think, yeah. I think if she just I saw some darker pictures of her. It's just that I think she just hadn't left the house in a while. So.
Yeah, maybe.
Did any of you know that Shrek 5 is coming out this year?
No.
Still doing that?
I can't believe that. It's not. I don't want it to be a topic, by the way. I was just so confused when I looked up 2023 movies that Shrek 5 is coming out.
Nope.
That's not something I've ever been interested in. I saw the first one. I didn't like it. It didn't appeal to me, but that's okay because I wasn't the target demographic, and they made a ton of money, which is what Shrek was intended to do. Because if you compare the original Shrek to the book that it was made after, it looks a lot like a freeway based on a side road. There's
Hmm.
very, very little, other than the fact they're going in the same direction.
I like that analogy.
Really, I just came up with it on the fly. So, do you think, Chill, that there should be more Shrek?
I'm nodding my head like there shouldn't be no more Shrek. We're pretty much done with it. If they want to do stuff like that to make more money, as long as the jokes are good, fine, do it.
Jokes are probably not going to do very well.
Yo, look, DreamWorks does it, don't they? Aren't they the guys behind it?
Yeah.
Who owns that studio? Is it NBC Universal? Googling it right now.
I
DreamWorks,
don't know
Universal.
who DreamWorks. DreamWorks used to be owned by three of the most powerful men in Hollywood who came from other companies to
Spielberg?
together. Spielberg, Katzenberg. That's the. It used to be DreamWorks SKG. So you had S for Spielberg, K for Katzenberg, and G for somebody else whose name I forget.
David Geffen.
David Geffen, that's right. Geffen Records, that media mogul himself, the tycoon, the music man. And they came together to create their own version of Disney and did a wonderful job with, that Moses movie.
Uh-huh.
Does anybody remember that animated Moses movie?
What was it
Yeah.
called?
Yeah, that's the problem. I think.
The code was no. That was there were two of them. There were two Bible movies,
Mm-hmm.
and they were both brilliant.
Yes, they did a fine job of that.
Prince
and
of Egypt was the one
Prince
that
of
I
Egypt,
liked
yes.
better, but then there was the Technicolor coat or something.
Joseph and the
Joseph's one, yeah.
Technicolor raincoat or somebody like
Mm.
that. Catholic, I should know that. So anyway, the point is that they decided instead of being brilliant and artistic and have integrity, they decided to make money and went with Shrek, and it's helped out. And so they've gone that way ever since. You got what was it? Monsters versus Aliens. I think they tried to build something off of that. Built
Oh,
a
yeah.
TV show off after that as well. They did Kung Fu Panda with
I
Jack
like
Black.
Kung Fu Panda.
And so I don't know if they need any more Shrek, but it makes sense to build off of the IPs that you own.
Mhm.
And if you can't
We
build
should
off
have
of
a
the
donkey.
IPs you should own, you should sell them. So
I thought Puss in Boots was good.
I really want to see that because I've heard really good things about it.
I enjoyed the first one, but that's because I enjoy Antonio Banderas. I don't think I've seen
I
the
enjoy
others.
Cats and Antonio Banderas, so it's a win-win.
Andrew says he's ambivalent to Shrek. I don't think the story supports a sequel, but if they can make a good movie, the world will be better for it. Well, I believe that's true as well. If they can make a good movie.
Yeah, for the Shrek sequels, basically what I've experienced with all of them is there's just that it has their moment. It has its moments. The first Shrek was one huge moment. Like all of it is basically part of pop culture now, as references and things like that. It really is beloved, and the rest not so much. It just has moments.
Warren?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
We're just saying what we thought about the sequels of Shrek.
Oh, I don't. I thought they should have ended at 4. That's my honest opinion. I think there's some stories. I think you should take characters like how they did the Dory movie from Finding Nemo. You take other characters and you explore different stories. You can do that, just like kind of how like the story of Gruel with Despicable Me, like the Despicable series.
Yeah.
It's still within the story, but a different side of it. So I guess side story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Like I said, like okay, I don't know how, but there's enough creative people to make a donkey movie. Okay, everybody loves Donkey, so I want to know where Donkey came from. how Donkey got his voice and all of that. You could do that. Any of
I'm
the
really
yeah, sorry.
no. I'm just gonna say I'm really not sure that anybody other than the dragon and Shrek can understand what Donkey's saying
Shrek
because I haven't
does.
watched the other.
Oh, there was the
Yeah, Shrek and the Dragon, which wouldn't be allowed by TSR Gaming anymore. They had little donkey dragons, children,
Donkey Drag.
half breeds.
Oh, you're
They
right.
had little
Yeah.
half breed.
Yes, they did. Yes. Oh God, I remember that. They're actually really cute.
I am not surprised by that. I'm not surprised by that.
I just
Oh,
wanted
they're
to
cute.
say real quick that the Super Mario Brothers movie has become the highest grossing video game film of all time. So that's
Already.
already, which I think is an exciting move for them. As hard as the critics pushed to have the movie fail, you know, it just didn't. Listen to the last 5 minutes.
It
Find out
just
who had
did.
those guys.
Yeah, John Leguizamo tried his best to make that movie fail.
But nope, the critics have spoken, and so have the fans. So good on them.
So does that mean we get a Donkey Kong movie then?
Yeah.
It means that
Oh,
they
it's
can
not the end.
expand in whatever way that they want now, and Nintendo holds all of the cards. And I think that was the big deal about it. Really, was the fact that Nintendo had so much control over what was going on and what was going to be said. They were able to send back a script that was a little more Peach centric, if you will, and made the brothers look like buffoons. And they put their foot down and made sure that the movie was what they wanted, which is what did not happen the original movie when the first movie came out with John Leguizamo and the other live action cast. They didn't get hardly a say in it. They didn't get to make the movie that they wanted to make, and Hollywood insisted that they were the ones who knew what was going on and that they knew how to make blockbuster movies. You just sit down and watch the masters at work, essentially. And they shoved everything into the crapper. So this right here changes the dynamic of how at least Nintendo, owning the properties, is able to move forward and have a little more control over what's happening in the background, what's going on. Speaking of the background, we have another Kids in the Background episode as my boys are enjoying video games. So, but that's
So,
that's
Party
all I
mouth.
wanted to say about that.
Shouldn't say
So,
it.
one of the things that was requested we talk about is Ted Lasso. Is this the final season of Ted Lasso?
That I don't know, to be honest. I know it's just the third season. I don't know if it's the final season though.
Oops. There we go. There we go. I don't know anything about Ted Lasso because I've never
It's
watched it.
wholesome.
I don't have the Apple streaming service.
Oh,
So, it's an Apple exclusive, so I haven't seen any of it.
I don't I don't have Apple either, but I've been keep.
I've seen it. I think I've watched 2 seasons. Wait, what season are we on? We might have been.
3.
Season 3.
Okay, so yeah, I think I've missed season 2. I don't know. I'll have to confirm. But the point is, I like Ted Lasso. It really is. It's just the character. That in the reason when I was watching it, we just didn't continue because we had other things going on. But yeah, it was for that character, that Ted Lasso character that he's just so positive, even though so much crap happens around him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You were gonna say something, Rosales? I'm sorry.
No. I was not because I haven't watched the show.
Oh, I mean, I I picked it up during the pandemic, and because it was like a big rave for watch parties, and I just was like, okay, let me watch it. And I like when I say football, I always refer to first. Unless I say NFL, I'm referring to like the Premier League and all that stuff. Because I'm a Man City fan. But anyway, I was like watching it, and it's like a really feel good. They hit a lot of topics, even in the real world,
That was my
sort of,
fault.
but not too agenda driven. Really good comedy overall. Um, Really good character development. I like of each of the characters. You get a little side story of each of the character, like a little origin. Um, every season, Ted is like getting to me more acclimated in London because he's from the Midwest. I forgot what part of the Midwest, but he's from the Midwest, and I think that's really interesting. And the attitude he has, it's like he's only like the only time he's down is when life is hits him like with a gut punch, but he's
Yeah.
always like positive. That's what I like about him.
Yeah. That's the thing that's what kept me watching, because it's like and also it isn't shallow kind of positivity. You expect that of him, and it kind of, what's so fascinating about the character is that you're like, okay, he's just running from his problems and that's it, and he's positive because he's giving he's delusional, he's too optimistic, but it does affect him and he actually deals with it, and it's just so wholesome and feel good the way he does it, even though there is drama. It's pretty funny.
Jill,
So
have you
I'm
ever
gonna
seen?
be rewatching it.
Sorry,
Okay.
haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. And what's that guy's name? The actor who's
Jason
in it?
Sudeikis.
Yes, he's an asshole. So it's
Oh.
kind of weird about that. No. He served his wife divorce papers while she was doing a meet and greet while promoting a movie. I
What
mean,
the
the guy actually walked up to her while she was on stage, handed her something. She thought she was going to sign an autograph. And he told her right there and then, "You've been served divorce papers. Have a great day."
Is that Olivia Wilde?
Okay, wait.
Yes.
What did she do to him? That's the thing. Like,
Well, they're getting divorced, so it had to be something. I
that's
don't
the
know.
thing. Like,
I'm not
he
sure whose side I'm on right now.
Well,
that he
on
chose
that film,
violence, but
on
why?
that film that she was promoting, she actually directed it, and she
No, was
wound
it
up
okay,
sleeping
darling,
with
or something?
two of her
Wait, don't worry, darling, with
stars.
Chris
Don't
Pine.
worry,
Yes,
darling.
yes. So she slept with two guys that were supposed to be bickering over her, a married woman with
They punched
children.
each other or something.
And they also, the two of them, put their nanny in such a state in between them two that the nanny wound up suing both of them.
What?
So,
So they're
uh,
both just trash.
So
But the
is
point,
he really an asshole though? Because
you know
I,
what? I
I,
think that's classic.
I mean that's classic. It gets it out the way. She can't act up in front of people. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
That's pretty good. I'm with him on that. Not the
so
nanny thing.
I'm not saying he is exclusively. I mean, they both have, a load to bear when it comes to that. But he's never really appealed to me as a person, and that's, you know, I've never been inspired to watch any of the things he's done. So,
Well, I think if you can get past his real life stuff, you will, and you have a chance to watch Ted Lasso, however means you can. I think you will
Yeah.
like the characters of the show. You may not like Ted, but you might like the other characters as well.
and that's the thing that we have to take into account whenever we think about movies like The Flash with Ezra Miller and his,
Yeah.
let me put it lightly, shenanigans. He is who he is, but the character of Barry is somebody completely different than he is an actor acting. I don't know if you can hear the stray cat in my house.
I can hear
Uh,
it.
yeah, we
You okay? Is it
he
okay?
he will not let us pet him at all, but he demands food.
Oh, he's a little cute. He sounds
He
like it's
just
a kitten.
no.
What?
He's
So it
he's a
just
big
just makes this high pitch for you.
Yeah, when he was running around our house, he was real thin, and other cats were bullying him, and so we let him come in whenever he wanted to, just to get away from the others. And he started eating our dog's food, and so now he's a bit of a fat cow.
Like mine.
Yeah, so he's got a steady three to go by, and he's now demanding canned food. So that's what you hear
That's
as he's
him.
coming in.
That's him demanding canned food.
Yeah, yeah.
There's going to be trouble. So if I just hop off for something, well, or turn my camera off, it's because these two are going to be fighting.
Oh, lovely. I'd love to hear that. Be like being in the Sudeikis household. So, it's a if you're enjoying Ted Lasso, continue to enjoy it. Support the film or TV series because there's a lot of people working on that show that may not be assholes. And apparently, it's a pretty good. It's got a pretty good heart and message behind it. So good on them.
Yeah, that is something to think about as well. With the like you said, there's so many people involved with a film or any medium like that. It's not just that one actor that you're rejecting when you don't watch. I mean, if you, it's one thing if you weren't going to watch The Flash or whatever anyway. But yeah, if that's your reasoning for not watching The Flash, just remember that there are people that worked on it. It's not just him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hatred going on uh, out there in the entertainment industry by people. For example, the Snyder cultists are out there trying to cancel Barbie.
What?
Boycott, boycotting Barbie movie
That's
is
new.
necessary. Keep your wallets closed, guys. Let Warner Brothers Discovery know that no Snyderverse means no money.
They're
So
that desperate.
they are that desperate.
They
They
this is a cult, man.
I think they
they actually want to
overestimate
cancel
their
Barbie.
numbers.
Yeah, they do.
It's like a
Oh,
political party, you know. They they overinflate an estimate of how many people are behind them and agree with them. What
yeah,
do you
man.
think, Jill?
That when Barbie makes whatever it does, whether it's low or whether it's high, the Snyder people, this circle isn't enough to have affected that at all. That's like, okay, look, a movie makes what $500 million. We go, wow, what a hit! This is great. If the Snyder people all went hard and said, "We'll watch this movie, let's support it," instead of 500 million, it might make 530 million, maybe. Like, is there $30 million worth of Snyder cut people on the internet?
I don't even think so.
Yeah, there's nothing to it.
No, they're probably like
And
maybe a couple thousand strong.
A couple thousand people who pay a $10 ticket means uh, $20,000. You know, like the gross of the box office isn't that affected by these Snyder cultists. So when you
yeah.
say that, and as much as you want to slander the movie and make all the memes you can to show how bad Barbie is for the girls and try your hardest, you guys are not going to result in that less of ticket sales.
And you know what? If one movie is successful, then the studio has enough money for another. So
I
um,
it
isn't
it's
that?
just baffling though.
Or am I just ignorant of the industry? So wouldn't it?
No, I agree with that. If the Warner Brothers has more money, they can go, yeah, let's just do the Snyder thing also. We've got the money. It's not that big of a risk.
I don't I don't. But the thing is about the whole Snyder thing is that it's not even continuity. That's what boggles my mind. Like that, it ends anything that even if you wanted to, it's not continuity. It's like literally make if you wanted to be sarcastic or a complete douche, it's make believe. Like why are these people not saying, you know what, Rebel Moon is the thing to go see, or like I don't know, support something else the man is doing if you're really
Right.
that much of a cultist, like or a fanatic or a zealot or a heathen. I don't know. I can't think of any other names. I'm going on a rant, but yeah, I just think it's ridiculous. They should just make his other productions, um, give that more hype because then people might actually gravitate toward that. I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I'm with you on it.
I wholeheartedly agree. They need to, you know what they need to do? They do need to support Rebel Moon. It's coming out, just here in December, and
December
the only
22nd.
press Snyder gets is negative press from the people that are had have surrounded him, as opposed to all of the positive things. So,
Ray
you know,
Fisher's in the movie. Nice.
oh yeah, well, apparently that's the only place you can get employed is with Snyder.
Hmm. So now that he's got that movie, when that trailer comes out, we'll expect some activity on Twitter from him. We can expect the Snyder people to have something positive to say, and then we'll see when this movie doesn't make $1 billion like they may think it will. They'll see just how few their numbers are, and no matter how much positivity they do, it doesn't result in ticket sales. And then Warner Brothers will see it, and they say we will never bend to this group, even
I hope
though
so.
they're not bending to them because James Gunn and Peter Safran is running DC, and there is no Snyderverse continuation coming. It's over, and everyone seems to know about it except for some of these people on Twitter,
And
these
that's kind
heathens.
of the that's kind of the reason people are trying to boycott the Flash movie. Is like, well, why should we invest in something that's not going to continue? Because this is the end of a era when it comes to the production and the cast and everything else. We will never see this version of Barry Allen again. So why go forward with it? Yeah, just let
Because
it
of the
die off
version
or
of
write it
Michael
off.
Keaton Batman, which we have never seen in years.
Oh,
And how many
Yeah,
times that
I don't
movie
know what
aired
that's
on
going to do.
TV, how many fans there are who want to revisit that, the nostalgia is real. So they'll
but
see the movie.
my point is that if Snyder does finish off his trilogy of Justice League films, what's the point?
I
It's the same reasoning is behind that. There's it's dead.
Right.
here's my theory. The only theory I have, and this is the most harebrained one I thought I was telling someone. I said maybe in like 15, 20 years they revisit this. But then I'm like, well, all the actors are old, so you still have to recast. So like, it's kind of all for null and void at that point. But I mean, I don't know. I just agree with you guys. I just think it's kind of silly and sad that they're stooping to these sort of things. Like, don't see this movie. Don't support this actor. Don't. It's like, grow up.
And you do make a great point when it comes to the age of the actors because he is under contract. He is committed to doing Rebel Moon and the sequels that are going forward. He is committed to his zombie verse with his zombie movies and heist movie combination on expanding that as well. Both of which are with Netflix. So Netflix has years and years of content that he is contracted to produce. So when he's done with that, maybe, just maybe, he's got a chance to make these films according to the Snyder Cult beliefs. So now you have to go back and round everybody back up. You've already got Ray Fisher. He's going to stay employed with him the whole time. But you got Ben Affleck, who is already considering himself aged out of the thing. You got Gal Gadot, who is just about to start playing moms in films, and Aquaman, who won't be looking like Aquaman then either. He's going to quickly turn into doing those character roles for people shaped like me. So, so what you will have to do in order to deliver what the fans are looking for is create a falsehood in them playing the roles. You're going to have body doubles. You're going to have stunt doubles. You're going to have CG animation to create the characters that everybody's been asking for so many years long by. And will that be what you were looking for initially in asking for the finishing of the Snyderverse? I don't think so. There's
Be
absolutely
careful what you
zero
wish for.
chance of getting what you want. Zero chance. Suck it up and move on to a different property because there's plenty out there that are looking for people to become fans of them. One of which being the Creature Commandos, which I know they're not going to follow because it's it's not their guy. But the cast has been revealed of who is going to be playing who, and we can see right here a picture above who they're going to be. This is that Grillo guy, whatever his name is, and he's going to play Rick Flag Sr. You got David Harbour, who's going to play Frankenstein. You got James Gunn's little brother, who's going to be playing these two characters, Sergeant Robot and Weasel.
Wow, a lot of
You
voice actors.
Yes, Alan Tudyk is going to be playing this dude right there, and whoever this lady is. Let's find out who these people are. Hang on a second.
I recognize one of them from Game of Thrones.
Where did it go?
Which one?
At the bottom. She was
Oh.
Pedro Pascal's sister.
Oh,
Okay.
was that her? Okay.
Thought I had it in place,
Isn't
but I
it?
did not.
Yes. Her hair's just half off in that
Let's
picture.
see. James Gunn says, in addition to Grillo, we welcome David Harbour as Frankenstein, Indira, I don't have this up on screen, by the way, as Indira Varma as the bride, Alan Tudyk as Dr. Phosphorus, Maria Bakalova as Ilyana Rustic, and Sean Gunn as Weasel, and G.I. Robot. And Nina Mazursky
That's her name.
and Steve Agee. Oh yeah, that's John Conomus. So there you go. That's who's going to be playing the Creature Commandos. And the idea is that these actors will come and do the animated voices, and then turn around and show up in other
Live action.
live action as those characters, as Economos and James Gunn's wife does so frequently.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, you guys showed up on my screen. I can see you guys now.
Hi.
That's so awesome.
I think this is underrated. I think this will be we're exploring more of DC, which is nice. No, typically their animated stuff, regardless of not let's say regardless. Let me rephrase it. Typically their anime does very well. The animation stuff does well. So if Gunn's really and Gunn and I think Chillmonger was on another stream with me. He supports comic books and he reads comic books, so I know that he's probably going to put a lot of effort into this as well. So I am excited for it. I'm curious about Rick Flag Sr. moving forward because he's going to probably meet up with Peacemaker at some point. That's my only sort of harebrained theory since he killed Rick Flag Jr. in the second movie, and since I believe that's continuity, is the Suicide Squad. But I'm excited for. I'm actually excited for most of the lineup outside like maybe 3 or 4. So
As a normie, it's nice to see something new. Not the same, trying the same things.
I want continuity, and I would like for them to mention Gotham City and the rest of the things that are happening in DC. It'll be first. Won't it be the first of his new stuff?
Yeah, I think there's a, there was a theory that Gotham City on television and Batman on TV was tied up in rights with 20th Century Fox since they did the TV series initially. And that's been the sticking point this entire time on why Batman hasn't shown up on any other shows as Batman or looking like Batman. But James Gunn said himself that that wasn't the case. So maybe, because it would be a sticking point, especially since 20th Century Fox was bought out by Disney. And it would be interesting if Disney owned part of the TV rights of DC. But no, he says that's not the reason why. But there's got to be a reason why Batman hasn't shown up or Gotham not be mentioned, except for on the rare occasion on their TV shows. But now that James Gunn has pulled everything together and he's wadding everything up into a big, giant bubblegum ball, we should be seeing a lot more of the different things from these people coming out. A little more Batman.
I mean, Doom Patrol is DC related, and that's it's doing pretty well, right? So, and that's came out of nowhere. So I like this a lot. I'm glad they got the cast. David Harbour is on a roll. You know, Stranger Things, Creature Commandos, Thunderbolts, and a few. This guy is like,
I love
yeah,
him in Stranger Things.
I do too.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's
So
got that.
I like to see him do well in this.
David Harbour's got that slight vulnerability for being a large person that will lend himself to the Frankenstein role, I think.
Yeah,
Don't know
I
anything
think
about the bride, though. So, any final thoughts on the Creature Commandos?
No, just waiting for.
when is
I'm
that?
waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it, and I'm waiting for all the Snyder. I bet you the Snyder people are gonna like it, but then they're just gonna be petty and say they don't like it.
Yeah, I don't think that they're the kind of people that will ever be satisfied in any case.
They're gonna call it Creeper Commando.
Caught me off guard with that one. Well, I saw something interesting on the interwebs, and that was people starting to talk about the trailer for the Marvels. I think Chill has gone over
Captain
this.
Marvel 2 is the name of this film, and if we call it The Marvels, then we'll be stripping this superhero of what Iron Man got, which was a sequel named after themselves. Captain Marvel 2
Did they
is the name.
not do this on purpose?
And
Yes.
I'm purposefully saying it's Captain Marvel 2.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
Because they took that away. They wanted to do that.
Well, I think they're trying to pretend to appease certain people that weren't happy with the film initially, and by including two other versions of Captain Marvel.
You could do
They-
all that and call it Captain Marvel 2, or call it the two other versions. Okay, Photon. This is Photon 1. Why not?
Yes, I think Photon should have been. She should have gotten her name already. I think, because if Miss Marvel has her name, Ms. Marvel. I'm sorry, excuse me. If Ms. Marvel has her name, then Photon should have her name, and Captain Marvel should have. Why not call it Captain Marvel and the Marvels?
Well,
You know?
Why not?
Yeah.
This-
I don't see how it solves a problem for them by calling it the Marvels. Maybe it's because then people are like, oh, there's too many other characters in there, so it's not really about her. So
I mean, it's
there's
a PR
that
move.
criticism. Yeah.
It's a bad PR move because you're telling your audience that this superhero here, Carol Danvers plays, she's only worthy of one movie called her name,
Yeah.
but the second one we stripped her. So she's not even like,
And-
you know, Ant-Man who gets 2 movies with their name in it? Nah, not her.
I mean, she's
And
gotten such bad rep. Sorry, Kitty. That's all I was gonna say.
She's gotten such
Bad rep. That's all I was saying.
No,
Well, you
but,
got this. I'm sorry.
you
Go
got
ahead,
that?
Kitty. Go ahead, please.
No, she wasn't she. I remember them like framing her as like she's now the new leader. She's the new like front man for the Avengers.
She's the
and
strongest
that's-
Avenger.
Yeah, she's. I mean, she is OP, but like she can go, and that was the idea that she's going to be the man now, and that just kind of just fizzled out. Everyone
I
just
think, I think with the failure of the quote unquote MCU phase, that's why that's
yeah,
why
fizzled.
it fizzled. I mean, watching
Well, I
this
think
trailer.
This is a way of hiding that the MCU is continuing, if that is an actual movement, and that's why I said they're pretending to appease the mouth breathing male gods that are out there who gatekeep comic books, and you've got these two factions in comic books that are supposedly at war with each other. One is female centric, the other one is male centric, and that's I don't know how real that is, but in renaming the movie, they have basically gave them a
Acquiesced.
foothold. They have acquiesced, just like Sony acquiesced to the internet when they created Morbin Time and brought the movie back out. The same way that HBO acquiesced to the Snyder Cult and put those movies on HBO Max in their extended versions. And if only the Snyderverse had shown up, that really showed their numbers. But here, again, we're seeing the same sort of thing with the trailer that they tried to do with Mario when they say that this trailer has become the most disliked uh, MCU trailer. And you look at the numbers here, and I'm not seeing that big of a difference.
Yeah, I
You're
saw there
looking
was
at
a lot of
maybe thousand.
upvotes. Yeah.
There's 1,000 more that like than there is that don't like. And whenever they say, "Oh, it's been ratioed and blah blah blah," and this is the
Yeah, I
most
wouldn't call
disliked,
it ratioed. But I
they,
mean, if you look at the
they didn't do.
downvote against other MCU things, then I can understand what they're saying. But that doesn't take away the fact that that's not a ratio.
Yeah. So I mean, it, it, there's a whole lot of snow jobs going on out there, and it doesn't. I think the movie's going to do a lot better than they expected to. Brie Larson seemed kind of pissy in that interview.
Oh
'Cause she
yeah,
wanted
I
to
remember
get
that
the
Really
interview.
pissing. She's not really likable, but you know what? Like we said, it doesn't really matter if the actor. Look, I don't like her on screen either. She is like a plank to me. Like, but wow. Could you please do an expression? Could you live? But the other two characters that I see in that in the trailer, they look endearing. I haven't seen Miss Marvel, whatever, but she seems really like cute, and she's got that timing of like, oh, let me show you what like that. I got good feelings towards her, but Brie is just so then she can't carry a movie herself. And what's her and the character, what the character has become. I don't know what the character is supposed to feel like. And you are going to make money when your normies come to your comic book movie, and I'm that target audience. But then also obviously your comic book people are a significant amount, so you do want to make them happy. But yeah, I just don't get any feels from from Marvel. The what's it, Captain Marvel. I just don't.
She had amnesia the first movie. She's gonna be a completely different character in her second
She's got
movie.
more character, right? Okay.
She'll know who she is. So the mystery of the movie will not be, I wonder what my memories were. This time around, they have two more girls who are in the spotlight. So the appeal to the normies is just women fans who may
Well,
be on the. Yeah, Warren?
oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. So,
Just half the population is female. So that's a big market to be advertising to. This already is different than most other Marvel movies.
well,
What? But how?
I think they hit the so far in Marvel. The only female cat, well, outside. I gotta make sure I word this properly. She-Hulk and Captain Marvel are supposed to be like heavy hitter females, and they've dropped the ball in a sense because in the comics, I like Carol Danvers, I like Kamala Khan, I like but the show version of Carol Danvers, I don't like. The movie, the She-Hulk, I don't like. So I don't know what they're gonna do because it seems like the only character that had literally no powers is dead. It's Black Widow. So now Kamala Khan is only a teen, so she's like still learning her powers, and this person's supposed to be like Kitty said, the forefront for the leader, and you're not likable by the normies. And right now we don't have that Iron Man and that Captain America that you had your friends on one side. Oh, I like the Iron Man. Oh, I like Captain America. I don't see anyone saying, "Oh, I like Captain Marvel." They're like, "Hell no!" Like that.
Even from the women's side, okay, there's a small group of people that are very shallow and that they're like, look, ooh, woman thing. I'm going to go and support the woman thing. But a lot of the time is they go, wow, great stuff, supporting it. Go girls, girl power, Yas queen. But they don't actually go to the movie. So they say all this stuff really nice, but they don't go to the movie because they're not interested in superheroes. They really aren't. They'll go with their boyfriend maybe, but that's about it.
That you nailed it. They'll go with their boyfriend. Fathers will take their daughters. It's just enough to get
It's a
that.
it's a bit, but it's not. You shouldn't be. It's not. You shouldn't be excluding the rest of your audience for that audience.
So what is it
That's
called when we
yeah.
get regular superhero movies, which are usually male led? Is that excluding the female audience too?
No, I loved
No.
Iron Man, and I know that I don't speak for all women, but
Yeah, you do.
you okay? I do. That's it. That's it. No, they. If it's entertaining, it doesn't matter. If you are walking around with that lens on and you're going to see all of that and do a checklist of all the things in the movie, I need to do this quota, then it is going to make you miserable no matter what movie you watch. Like some of the girl power moments in Endgame and things like that was so cringe. It was just like,
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
I was it like I audibly in the cinema went ugh when it was like she's not alone or some shit like that. I was just like, please you don't have to do that. It's actually it's like condescending. It's what patronizing actually. But you know what? They are. I agree though. They are the ones that are yes queen, and they're excited because it's like look, it's all females. And I don't think actually people have a problem with females. They just want interesting females. They want, you know.
Did you see how disliked this video was? The trailer is the most disliked video that they've ever done.
I mean, chill on a graphical and I'm sorry, but that trailer looked like Spy Kids 3. I'm sorry, it really
It
did.
was not that bad.
Come on, man, stop.
No, it wasn't.
Look.
It was they swap. Here's Kamala, here's Monica. Surprise. That's all that trailer was.
You know what? It's I agree with what you mean because I was thinking, why are people really hating this? Because there's so many reasons to hate other MCU things. Like honestly, the cringe moments in some of these trailers and things like that would make me take my mouse all the way to the downvote button and click it down. But this I was like, it's harmless. And I think I just liked the music as well. So I like that. I just liked that song. But then when I thought about what it should be, or like it's supposed to be a serious or not like a serious movie. You actually kind of want a mature movie, and this is just a bit funky and it that's the way you say Spy Kids. That's what I mean. Like
That's what I mean.
I know that superhero movies are supposed to be popcorn movies, but this kind of feeling that this trailer gave me is cool. I'll watch that when it comes on. It's like I'll wait for it to come out on VHS. That's
It's
what
like
it
a
feels like.
Nickelodeon movie.
Yeah, it feels like that. So I can see why the fans really disliked it.
But
But I did.
again, you have the Mario movie that just made a whole bunch of money, and a whole lot of people went to go see it.
Despite it, yeah.
But-
Because that in itself is a popcorn fluff movie and did not have anything really serious in it. There was no other message other than it's
I,
it's not a good thing for Bowser to try to force people to marry him, and that's a very good message, I think.
it's a
Very
good.
smart.
I think you're right. I do think it will surprise people, this movie, because of the amount of likes. Okay, I can see the dislikes, but there's a lot of likes too.
To be fair,
Yeah.
I thought the Mario trailer was fine. I just think that people wanted to hate on it for no reason.
We're so
And
used to being
that could be the
disappointed.
case with the Marvels too, because it had more likes than it did dislikes. And Marvel finds itself in Marvel, the MCU specifically, finds itself in a terrible position in having to adapt comic books that are beloved and established for decade upon decade. And when you don't have the rights to everything that you want or need for a specific story, then you have to do make do with what you've got, which is what they did with Carol Danvers, and they changed her story and told that one first instead of the photon story, which should chronologically come first. And so they find themselves in a really bad position with a character that was politically put to be what females, I believe, think male heroes are. And that was the character that they put together, this strong Cree warrior that was stoic. And although she didn't remember her human thing, she was still just a menacing person, and that's how they some people see the male hero, and that's just not the case. Um, the only problem I see is that Carol Danvers is an alcoholic. She's got issues. They could have played on that really do put her sometimes in that kind of position without her being an a-hole. uh, you know.
Mm.
So they they chose not to get on that boat. They didn't miss the boat. They chose not to do that because you want people to love her as you're building a franchise.
That's
And,
yeah. That's sorry, and
and so what you have is them being in a position to make her act like a bitter drunk without being a bitter drunk, and she comes off as one dimensional if that's all the director has asked her to do. Um, you
But
can't leave it on an actress to or an actor to
yeah.
do everything all on their own. You have to be able to direct them. And we've
Hmm.
heard more than one story about how the production side, the office, has more of a hand in directing a film than the directors.
Yeah.
but that sounds like they're trying to find a substitute Iron Man. If like, because Tony was a drunk in Iron Man 2. We kind of it's always been hinted at that. Like I said, like that's the thing. I think the void, like that void of no Captain America and no Iron Man is really hurting Marvel
Hmm.
at the moment, and I don't think they realize how much it was because we're seeing it. Like I'm I wouldn't say terrified, but I'm skeptical of the Captain America movie. I'm skeptical about a
Is
lot
the
of
Captain America movie coming?
yeah, New Worlds.
Oh, you're talking about
Ha!
Falcon New World
Oh,
Order. I got it. No, no, it's cool, cool.
there's chill.
I can
Well,
see why you would say that it was a Captain
whatever,
America. He
chill.
wears the
Because
shield.
it's the same.
Yeah, Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Whatever, chill.
But
Anyway, the Captain America New World Order movie that's coming out. And then I
you
I
know
don't
what? You
know.
didn't mention. Yeah, Iron Man and Cap are missing, but so is Black Panther.
Oh yeah, Black Panther. They were. I mean,
And Thor's been destroyed.
Thor's been
too.
just going down like a bad like a whore in a corner. Like I don't like it's just been getting worse and worse. And
They
I
still
just
got Spider-Man, who's very successful. They just share the
That's
money with Sony, but Spider-Man's really well. And you said Thor. Who else we have? Oh, Doctor Strange is decent. He made 900 million,
he
right?
was.
Doctor
But
Strange.
these two heroes don't replace Cap and Iron Man. I think
No, they
Black
don't.
Panther would have.
Oh yeah,
Like you guys know the characters from the comics, okay? There charisma that is in those other characters that can fill that void, because I feel like the the characters that they've taken out brought out now, they just don't have this. Maybe it's also because they don't have this
Well,
perfect casting thing that happened like with Tony Stark and
Yeah,
Robert Downey
Robert Downey.
Jr. That was just like that
Okay.
doesn't happen.
He
Damn.
does the Iron Man better than it happens in comic books. Robert Downey's amazing. Who could
It's
they do?
he is Iron Man. You can't, and they had unfortunately they were trapped in that.
But Deadpool is coming, and that's a big character. Wolverine as well is coming with him. I don't know if he gets his own movie, but whoever
Yeah,
they
that's
cast for
that's the
Fantastic.
problem.
What'd you
That
say?
that I said that's the problem we find themselves in is that they still have everything out in their garden. They got sproutlings when everybody's up to the buffet table and they want to eat now. You want
Mm.
you want your characters to be there, but they've aged out. You know, they're too old to be doing this, and so they've tried to
I thought they
really
were
rush
done with.
in.
I thought they were done with Logan. Like let him go, man. It was hard. It was
Well,
hard to let him go.
to
But like
piggy-
I thought they were done with him. Like let him.
Money talks.
to piggyback
Yeah.
off of Chill, I think you're going in the right direction. I think fantastic. If they nail it with Fantastic Four and X-Men, people will forget about what
Exactly.
we've seen. I really honestly think so because we've been dying for. I've been dying for Fantastic Four movie for a hell of a long time. That was my first team, and then my team that replaced them was the Thunderbolts. But I've been dying for that, and I'd like to see the X-Men. So I think once those two finally hit the big screen, and then you could play off of things because you could do X-Men versus Avengers. You could do all sorts of storylines start wrapping in with these characters because the X-Men play such a pivotal role, and the Fantastic Four as well. So I think that's what's gonna have to happen. I think right now we're in a substitution phase where the substitute teacher, the teacher is sick for or it's quit his job, and now the substitute teacher's taken over. So like you said, Falcon has replaced, and you got the Marvels. Like they couldn't do Captain Marvel, which to actually go on that, I'm surprised they haven't featured Rhodey with Carol because that's a love interest, and I thought that was something that I think Rhodey should have been in more stuff. I really think Rhodey, and I don't mean to go off. I thought Rhodey should have been in Shang-Chi, and I think Rhodey should have been in the Marvels because he's a character that's always around, even in the comic books. So, and that's and that's kind of how Sam built up in the movie. So I'm not sure why they're not doing that. I mean, we are getting Armor Wars, a movie, but that's further down the line. But yeah, I think Rhodey should have been in the Marvels.
You know what they should do? Since this is basically the MCU is basically a TV show anyway. They need to go ahead and soap opera it with the Kree. What is that Secret Invasion?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And use that as an opportunity to replace actors. So you have all of the characters revealed to be Kree agents, and they don't necessarily look exactly like the real person. So
Skrull.
that we can get a Skrull, excuse me. You can get you a Tony Stark back that is aged down a little bit, a Captain America that's aged down a little bit with brand new actors playing these roles, and this is what they originally looked like. You know what I'm saying?
I mean that's a good idea. I mean it's an easy idea too, believe it or not, to execute.
Chitala. Listen, I can't even.
Yeah,
talk right.
Chitala.
T'Challa.
Yeah, he comes back and says, "Who was this man in my place?" You know,
Yeah.
and with the Caribbean accent apparently.
What a $1 billion decision that would be.
That would be an awesome idea to just replace everybody and bring in new people.
I would aim for a reboot. I would just decide that, listen, we've been going for 15 years since 2008.
Yeah.
It is about time we map out the ending. Everyone's just going to start dying in their movies. It'll be surprising because we know we're going to have a final Avengers movie, not an actual end game. And then you reboot, you cast the new people.
Well,
it sounds like you could have done that, huh?
Well, unfortunately, Chill, the Conqueror is if he's still the Conqueror, I don't know. He's supposed to reboot it because the thing is he's an infinite villain, right? And he's
New
with
big
time,
band.
and he's gonna and with time you can reboot, right? So I think they could potentially reboot with Kang the Conqueror because he needs to exist. So that's I agree with you, but I think they could use him, and they could end it and then start all over again. Personally.
That's probably the smartest movie decision they can do because Robert Downey's way too expensive, but Iron Man is not. So you just get a schmuck that's straight out of film school, 25 years old, maybe has one movie under his belt. You scout him and you say, you'd be a good Tony Stark. Boom, you got him. You do the same with Captain America and the rest of these. And all of a sudden you got these young actors who are not starting in their 40s like Robert Downey did. And you can go another 20 years with no issues of contracts because you're going to sign them when they'll agree to anything. And Bob's your uncle. And one last thing about the ratio. it shows you that there's less Snyder cultists than there are misogynists.
That's hilarious. Oh!
What?
What's your gangster name?
Mm.
Your gangster name is the color of your shirt and the last thing you ate.
White bread.
So you.
I'm grey bread.
I am black salad. So here I am.
That's cool. I like that. Actually, is so sinister.
Purple popcorn.
Purple
That's
leaf.
cool. We're lame. We're lame too. With bread
White bread.
and
That's
grey
it.
bread. At least, grey bread is unhealthy bread. So, yeah. Yellow chicken sandwich, says Brie.
That is too funny. Okay, now it's your turn. What do we got here? Nico is brown ice cream.
Like chocolate?
It's just brown. We don't know why. Taste it.
We have no idea what it is. And Bree Wood is yellow chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Chicken's usually yellow before you cook it, isn't it? So it's kind of like a raw chicken or
Seasoned with turmeric.
Miss 76,
Yeah.
1776 probably cooked that sandwich. She's pretty famous for undercooking chicken.
That reminds me, I do have to cook some chicken.
I like to
for
brine
the-
my chicken
What's
before
more?
I cook them.
Mm,
All right, that's enough of that. So,
I
Well,
love
guys.
that music.
when I found that music, I thought that was just fantastic. That's great. I love it. I got to use it in some
It's
capacity.
game show music. I love it.
Yeah, that's actually what it's called. The let's see, TV Game Show 60 standard. I got all this royalty-free music available to me online, so I use it whenever I can. Nico says, "No, I had vanilla, but my shirt is brown, so I sound like the softest gangster."
Brown ice cream.
Brown ice cream.
My favorite is black salad.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Somebody go get brown ice cream. Black Salad wants to have a word with him.
Oh.
Purple,
Need to
purple
do a
popcorn's
GTA.
gonna pop you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
purple popcorn. What's the word on the street?
Purple popcorn literally wears purple. We know that. Definitely.
Purple hair.
Maybe what's purple curly hair, so it looks like popcorn. That works out best. Well, anybody got any final thoughts on anything specifically, or not specifically?
I want to see gun stuff, and I am hopeful. My prediction is that Loki season 2 and Secret Invasion will be better than those two shows. Will be better than the rest of the movies that come out for the MCU.
I'm wondering whether it was wise for them to go show movie. Because a lot of people don't watch the shows, and then they jump into the movie and they're like, "What the hell's this?" So, yeah, as a normie, I'm not following the TV shows. I've been disappointed by Hollywood, even as a normie. But when something does well, I want to go and watch it. So Mario, I didn't expect it to do too well. Did well. Love it. Happy to hear it. I like being proven wrong. So I think the Marvels is going to surprise people that don't like it because of that the normie factor. I honestly think so. I honestly think the normie factor. But the thing is, that will be only like the first week. If it's a bad movie, it's not going to keep that momentum. So it'll have, depends on how it is actually after we
That's
watch.
true. That's true.
Mm.
If a movie uh, um, Shazams it up, it will fall
Oh,
off of TV.
shame. Yeah.
But Mario did not. It it was worth watching. It definitely was. My kids enjoyed it. The kids that were in the movie theater enjoyed it. The parents seemed to be not bothered by it, and that was one advantage they had that Shrek will have over any other movies coming out. Is that there are multiple tickets for each person who wants to see it. One kid wants to see it, the whole family's going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting 3 to 4 tickets per one person wanting to view it, which is not the case with Shazam,
Mm,
sadly. So
good
You were in
point.
there, you were wondering why Wanda was evil all of a sudden. See, that's different than what I think. I think that you should respect the TV series. You should include them. They should matter. I think it's kind of weird. Nick Fury is in the trailer when, in between the release of this movie in November and now, he's supposed to be on a series called Secret Invasion, where there's a bunch of Skrulls. We're not supposed to know he makes it out alive. It's very gloomy the way they advertise it. So
Lol.
you shouldn't have put Nick Fury in the trailer for the Marvels. Not in this teaser trailer. Maybe in a second trailer you do after his show airs in a couple months. Then you can include him because we'll know he survived. But it was way too early. You got to respect us who watch
That
everything.
could be a scroll.
It could be a scroll. Wouldn't it be better if he just wasn't in it though?
That's true too. I mean, you're right. I'm just saying that's the possibility. But
Save
yeah.
him for the official, real long trailer with more plot. This is just our teaser, first look. Get ready in 6 months.
Yeah,
I
they
just-
could have showed us more kittens because there were kittens. There's going to be
I-
kitten.
They're
They're
flirkins.
I just
Yeah,
thought of
those
something.
ones.
Do you think that this is now the rise of video game movies now?
Oh, everyone's
Are you
gonna
out of your
try it.
fucking mind?
You're right. And unlike
They're gonna
comic
try it.
books, there aren't these independent comic books that other studios can go, oh yeah, we can do that. Not with games. With video games, it's Mario, it's Sonic. You would be foolish to think, oh, people like this sword and sorcery game produced by some independent company that's gone belly up. That won't happen with movies, with the video game movies.
They're
So
going to try Zelda next.
yeah, the big ones, right? Maybe a Grand
Mm-hmm.
Theft Auto. We're not gonna be experimenting with the nobodies.
Oh, no. Everyone's going to try.
Zelda has an
And
opportunity because
we're gonna
fantasy is trying to take over as the new thing to dethrone superhero movies. I'm old enough to remember that superhero movies weren't actually a thing, but cowboy movies and cop movies were. And you would have a ton of these cowboy movies coming out one after another, some of them related. Some of
Owen
them
Wilson,
unrelated.
Jackie Chan.
No. This is way before then. This
Oh,
is
yeah?
yeah. Back in the olden days.
SWAT.
The
you know.
West
And so
Westerns, yeah.
yeah, the old westerns, and somehow superhero movies have taken the place of those. They found a way of just being the dominant thing where
Mm.
everybody's got to be like, oh, we all have a superhero franchise, and now we're all going to make billions of dollars a year. No, not true.
Mm.
But now somebody is trying to engineer a replacement for superheroes. They started with coining the phrase superhero fatigue.
Yeah, they're trying to make that a thing, whereas we
I
just
think
want
that's
good stuff. Doesn't matter.
Quality is the first thing that leaves once you have the ability to make money. So now you've got your Lord of the Rings as a TV show, as a big thing. You got your D&D movie coming out, and so with Mario being a hit,
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon. There you
Isn't
go.
there a Tetris film too?
There is a
Yeah.
Tetris film.
But it's not. It's about the game being made. It's not an
Uh-huh.
actual. It's not like Wreck-It Ralph or whatever. Yeah, but
They did try to make a battleship where they actually fought the naval war like the game with the grid and the E12
I
hit,
heard of that.
But with Zelda, that's fantasy. It's also video game. It's
Mm-hmm.
2 in 1. It's almost too greedy to pass up an opportunity And so it could be the first failure in Nintendo's movie
Yeah, because
franchise.
it's such a big risk. Like, because it's such a big one, you have to do it right. Ooh, and it's so difficult. That the thing is, with the Westerns and stuff, they didn't have geeks, okay? I don't think that they had the geek culture that will criticize and nitpick and go EFAP every single movie. So to please the masses, there's a lot more that goes into these. And because there have been so many failures, you have that kind of expectation that it's just going to be crap anyway. But then that means you just need to make something good enough that it, as Mario has proven, if it's good enough, the people will come, they'll watch it. People are okay with being wrong. They will, because it's good enough, it's fine. They'll go and eventually see it. But also with the fantasy, that was also another kind of thing of going from the geek to the normie. The person who reads Wheel of Time and Lord of the Rings and all of those things. Yes, and the comic book people, we want to see it come to life. We want to see what people, how you would visualize this and who would we cast. There's always those fan castings and things like that. We always want that. So there is there's that expectation and that higher risk to giving us these movies. So there's that, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it right. I mean, if you can bring it to life right, then people will go mad for it. So just keep the principles of make sure your character stays the same, because you can
But
be
why do it right when you can do it cheaper by hiring
and do it
immigrants?
several times over in a year. Yeah,
Listen,
nah.
want
It's sad. Makes me angry. And also we are passionate about things. Okay. So I'm normie when it comes to comic books. When it comes to fantasy, I'm completely the other side. So yeah, we are passionate, so we're ready to be very critical of things, but we're also primed to go and see and be obsessed with your film. So if you can try and get your Lord of the Rings on, that sort of thing, that would be amazing. But like you said, we can just do the marketing, that fan baiting marketing, and push out a shit show and make some money. And anyway, but that's my finishing point. Hollywood, yeah, it is. Oh yes, that's another point I wanted to make. Sorry, that with the comic books, the superhero stories. There's just these two big houses that are doing the comic books. So that's another thing. There's this just DC and MCU. That's it. Maybe if we went a bit further than having just these two big boys, maybe we would get some more interesting films. I don't know which comic
Judge
books.
Dredd. We've had the Men in Black. We've done what's the Valiant comic
Watchmen.
with Vin Diesel?
Didn't
Yeah,
Blood-
the Deadshot
Blood
or
something?
something like that.
Bloodshot.
Bloodshot.
They happen and they're just not the same. Hellboy, no one really cares.
They're recasting him, by the way, for Hellboy.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't. I was like, Men in Black was forever ago, and it's like, oh yeah, they tried another Men in Black.
But those are the more
God.
affordable IPs too.
Yeah, that's true.
Netflix decided to go ahead and buy their own comic book company, and tried to build their own thing out of that, and it didn't work out. So,
Which comic book company was it?
Wasn't it Jupiter or something?
yeah, Jupiter
Rising? Or, like they canceled that
Legacy?
season? It was good.
Legacy.
Jupiter's
Oh.
Legacy.
The Millerverse. I
Oh,
think
well, that's
it's
not that bad of a guess. Miller's quality. But like, there's Dark Horse Comics that are around and Image Comics who are around, and you should get in business with those guys. Boom
Dark Horse
Studios.
is under DC now.
Image doesn't own its own IPs. The
You're
IPs
right,
are owned
actually.
by
Yeah,
the
Image. That's the
creators.
thing about Image. So just talk to the Robert Kirkman and see what you can do. Because he did
And
Invincible, he did Walking Dead. And those are the two biggest like comic book things.
so what you have is in comic books, only about two or three characters dominate 90% of the sales in comic books when it comes to that, and that will put one or the other company uh, on top. Whether it's Wolverine this month and Batman the next month, just one or two titles or characters in multiple titles will dominate the sales of any given month, and those are maybe in the millions at 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 their highest point, the individual comic book,
Uh-huh.
and then you have the second and third falling into the thousands in sales. And so the drop off is humongous when you get to two and three, and the number four comic book
Yeah.
production,
Yeah.
comic book publishers.
You know, you're not mentioning though the writers because sometimes there's a writer like Jonathan Hickman. The name may not mean anything to some of you people here, but when I know he's writing a comic book for Marvel and that limited series is starting this summer, I have to pick it up because of who he is, because of the stuff he's been producing, a lot of which has turned into movies. That writer is important. So it's not. I don't care if he's doing the Fantastic Four or Doctor Strange. If Jonathan Hickman is writing a book, I have to watch it.
That's my question there, because if you've got these really great writers, how do their stories get lost in translation?
Because the writer doesn't go
Yeah.
along with the property or the story. And then you
Mhm.
got Hollywood hacks like me or somebody else who they just bring in for cents on the dollar to rewrite the script a certain way, and then 27 other people to fix what I messed up. And I mean, other people have messed up. So, when it comes to Hollywood writing, the only thing that's important is the credit on the screen. So it'll be passed around who knows how many times, and then eventually, if the script has been muddled up so much, nobody will
Okay,
take care of
actors
it.
have input also. They don't want to say that word because I just don't feel my character would do that.
Hmm.
Yeah, they sometimes they will do that, but then like you were saying as well, they can be directed out of that. Like eventually it's like, well, then you might have wanted to do that, but no, we're taking that other cut where you did what I told you to do.
Listen,
There was a scene in one of the Star Trek movies where Kirk was instructed in the script to say "Let them die," and he didn't want to do that. He didn't think Kirk would do that, and so he lobbied for them to have it done a different way and say a different line because a planet was being destroyed and they were being sent out to help them, and he didn't want to help because they were Klingons, and he didn't think that Kirk had it in him to be that hateful to Klingons. So the director said, "Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we shoot it this way, and then we'll shoot it your way, and we'll try a different way, and we'll just kind of ad lib from there." And so they shot 5 or 6 different versions of it. But since the director got what he wanted, that's the one they used,
Hmm.
which
well,
embittered, Kirk.
I I hope maybe we're just maybe this is where history is like recycling, not so maybe we're gonna end up going back into the we got the video game phase, and then we go back to say into the cowboy and the and the cop phase. Um, I don't know. Like, is it just that there's just not writers or people not interested in writing and producing anymore, or like are they afraid? I don't know because I would assume with everything that's been out that there's got to be young, just talent. Not even young. Let me just take that off the table. Just talented writers and producers out there.
They're beholden to the people that are established. So they need to be given a break. So maybe indie films is the only way we would land up going. Like that's the only way you would experience those sort of stories for a while, and then eventually Hollywood will wake up and go, oh, that's quite successful, let's remember that there's a lot of creativity to pull from, because they are. I think you're right. There's countless people that are just dying to have their stories out there.
But the stories are expensive. A guy flying and all the glowing, that
Yeah.
production budget is not going to be risked on an independent.
Yeah, exactly. On something
and no
new.
one's going back to sitting
Or
on on a bar stool in front of a green screen to do flying anymore. They're just not going to go backwards anymore because there's an expectation of quality.
They should do that though.
you know.
It's camera work and trickery that you could get past. You can just have a guy holding guy, and they're all in green suits, right? And they're holding him, and they're just flying him around.
But you heard Warren. It looks like Nickelodeon, and so he's not going to watch it if it doesn't have the $1 billion.
For me,
Film
it
it.
wasn't
Okay,
the effects that
listen,
made it
listen.
Nickelodeon.
Let me explain what I meant by it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Guardians still. I was expecting a Guardians-like trailer in the sense of it's spacey. I don't mean funny. I mean spacey. I didn't get that same sort of spacey feel
Big.
of when I looked at the Marvels. If like with Kamala flying and splatting on the screen on the glass, and Fury and then her slipping and it just was more Spy Kids and like goofy than anything. That's what I mean.
It's goofy. Yes, that's the thing.
It's just very
goofy. It's
Yeah.
so goofy. I think
what.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing, but it is goofy.
Maybe we're gonna get a serious trailer, but that was very goofy. Like it was.
Very goofy. Yeah. Lord of the Rings was done. Yeah. And it still stands up today.
They use miniatures. I think they called them bigatures because they were a lot bigger than normal miniatures. But they used a lot of practical effects, in-camera effects. They did foreshortening. A lot of the big Gandalf scenes were done with just that, where you place the camera, what kind of lens you use, and zooming in and making it look like one was bigger than the other.
Great.
A lot of the old Hollywood stuff. Sir John, hey, how's it going? How are you doing? We're doing good.
Wheel of Time deserves to be so much better. That's just that is it's something that broke my heart. That's what made me kind of I could watch the Rings of Power because I had already been broken. So it was okay for me to watch Rings of Power, and I felt so bad for the Tolkien, like the real hardcore Tolkien fans, because I knew what they were going through. And you're just like, what are you doing? What are you just like you get excited for years. That actually for a while I also didn't want my things to be Wheel of Time is my thing, and I didn't want it to be adapted because I knew it would be disappointing. But disappointing in that you imagine things differently. That's as far as it should go. They massacred that story.
And you know, the thing is, though, is that a certain amount of change has to be expected.
Yes, for sure.
production
Same thing with
costs
Lord of
and
the Rings
things.
happened, yeah.
There was a movie that Snyder did that was probably the best adaptation of a comic book I'd ever seen. It was the most accurate adaptation of the comic book I'd ever seen. It was The Watchmen. And I loved the comic book, The Watchmen. And I own a couple of different copies of it. And
Series?
yes, the series and the graphic novel put together. So when I saw that this was a movie that was as close as could possibly be expected to being the comic book as an adaptation, I honestly didn't know if I liked it or not. I thought about this for literally 3 years on whether or not I liked it, because it was almost shot for shot, page for page, panel for panel.
Because I was wondering,
An adaptation of the thing. Literally, what was on the page was put on the screen, except for just a few things that they had to change up because the studio demanded it. But when all was said and done, I realized I didn't like it.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask because comic books, I would expect, lend themselves to being converted because they're visual. So I mean, when you do make a story, you storyboard it. So doesn't that help? But why didn't you like it? It was close as it could be, but because what was it? What made you not like it?
I think it came down to the fact that it was not a new experience.
It was not new enough. It was not. It didn't give you something else while keeping the spirit of. Which I honestly think the Lord of the Rings did that. They definitely had to leave out huge bits of the story.
Oh yeah.
To make it into that medium, and also they were long ass movies. It was not normal to have movies that long. I think it was only Titanic that I remember being that long
Oh
compared
Lord,
to Lord of the Rings.
that movie.
I remember that was a thing. It was like, oh wow, Titanic's long, and they have to change the film during you stop watching during the movie because they have to change the thing. So I really think that there was a good balance with Lord of the Rings. There's enough respect for the source material.
That I was so shocked watching Titanic. When my wife and I went to go see it, and I was so shocked when the iceberg hit the Titanic
Are you
and
kidding?
broke it. No, no, no. It shocked me because it was so loud. It woke me up.
I like that.
Sir John wants an opinion on his joke. I hurt my hand. I thought I broke something. I didn't have any money for an x-ray. I put my hand on a light bulb. Thankfully, no breaks. Definitely burnt myself, though.
What an American joke. I didn't have enough money for an x-ray.
Yeah, dude. You have to go on like a
Is that like saying
medical
you're
show
American
for
without
that.
saying you're an American?
Yeah, it is.
Well, you know what? If it had been any place else with the free health care, by the time they got to the x-ray, it will already fused together
Yeah, your hands like this.
incorrectly.
That is a gross exaggeration of the time it takes to get your health care, your needs satisfied. You can get an x-ray on the same day.
I had some people of mine, some friends of mine. This took years, by the way, to happen. They left America because they didn't like the idea of the healthcare system the way it works here. So they moved to England, and then, because they have free healthcare in England, and something happened. His wife got sick, and they wound up coming back to America for treatment. It's not a funny story.
No, it's like they had to.
Just they had to come back. They had to come back. So.
No, it's funny to me because it's like you don't like the way it works in America, but you go to England and it's like, yeah, maybe we'll fit you in for your treatment in a couple months. And sorry, our wait list is messed up from COVID, and so healthcare is a problem.
We're not doing cancer treatments right now. We're not doing that because of other reasons. So you're going to have to wait until we get back to it. They didn't have cancer, by the way. But that's just what happened.
Yeah, but yeah, still sucks that they had to move around that she needed it in any case. Yeah.
So, but everything's better now.
Good.
And then they
hooray.
Then they moved back to England, and then Brexit happened, and then they wanted to come back home. So, I don't even understand that. That's politics stuff that I don't know about. So, but eventually she got her passport again. Yay!
That's weird. I would never go back to South Africa. So it's like having the option to go back to your home country is foreign to me.
Well, one of them was originally from England, so.
Okay, so that was at least made a bit more sense.
Yeah. You go back and that way you can get to a university a whole lot quicker.
Mm.
I don't know the whole thing. So.
Yeah, we're not here for the politics, although we do end up talking about them.
Well, we try not to get other than
Heavy.
T'Challa, we don't get too political. So,
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
we save that for other streams. So, but
Yep.
maybe one day we will do one stream or something like that, but who knows when. But that's what does Andrew say here? Seems that they prioritize more serious cases, but there are always more serious cases incoming, so it can take forever to get seen for non-serious cases. Very, very true. Very true. And Sir John says, okay, a generic one. I once played hide and seek. I count to 100. I turned my back on everyone had gone home.
That's depressing.
How do you know that?
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, they could just be hiding.
Is that the joke? That then you thought everyone went home, but they've all gone to hide.
Send that to an AI and see if it can punch that one up a little bit. Brexit never affected me at all. It was blown way up for some reason. And I think there's an entire Alan Moore fandom that considered the Snyder adaptation of The Watchmen sacrilegious, not subversive or revolutionary enough.
Alan Moore's the guy who wrote it in '86.
Yes, and I also think that he held a very strong opinion against it as well. I could be mistaken on that, but not just his fans, but Alan Moore also did not.
Did he get a cut? I'm sure that had to play a part in what he thought about the film. How much of a cut does he deserve? Let's not even answer that. If you created the comic and they do use your comic, and I mean like thoroughly, it's not just a little teases and you might remember this Easter egg. If they use your comic in a movie, don't you deserve like 1% of the box office gross?
No creator is going to get 1% of the box office gross. They're going to get a solid payment.
10,000?
They're not going to get a slice of the back end. No.
20,000?
They won't make the deal.
30,000?
If they do make the deal,
I get it, but what would the money be? You're not saying percentage, but what would it be? What chunk of change would it be?
It depends on who's buying it, how much the property is actually worth, and
it shouldn't. It shouldn't depend on that. You're using my comic in a movie. You better pay me.
Okay. I was going to help this guy do a cartoon based on his comic book. And he didn't want to talk numbers at all. And actually, he didn't want to pay me to do it. So that didn't go anywhere. I don't know why I brought that up.
No, that makes sense. That's smart. Like some people will try to take advantage, make the most out of it, just so that when it releases and it's a huge hit, they get to pout, they get to sue you, they get to let's just arrange all of these questions. Let's solve the problem now before it becomes an issue. And if he wants to play dumb with you, then don't even go along with the project.
And that ending was the thing that the studio demanded that they change, just so that they could be something different, Alan. So yeah, the studio did demand a brand new ending, so that it wouldn't be a frame for frame, picture for picture of the comic book. And so it did play a heavy part in changing the direction of the story. So I've got a joke. Let me see. I'm doing a book on puns. See if I can remember it. Oh, yes. This one didn't make it into the book of puns that I'm working on because it was not suitable for children. Here we go. I bought a pair of shoes off of a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day.
I love me a pun, man. That was very good. Sorry, Sir John. You got no puns. I'm gonna tell that one to my husband.
Oh yeah, please do. I'm not using it in the book because I don't want to explain to kids what a drug dealer is and what tripping is, other than an unlaced shoe.
Could you say a pharmacist?
It's still a drug joke.
Yeah, they don't lace things.
You would hope
Hopefully
not.
not.
You know.
A shady bartender? prepare them for when they're older. You ever watch the show What Would You Do with John Quinones, and you would see like someone would put a little
I love
sugar
that
inside
show.
a drink? Yeah, that show's the best. And they'd go off, and the hidden cameras are all watching. And then like when the girl who just got her drink drug goes to the bathroom, they go drug it up, and then you watch what the people do, and then some of them do nothing. Some of them get up, pretend like they're going also to the restroom, and they'll, hey, they just drugged you. I don't know if you know those guys, but don't trust them. And you're like, okay, what would you do? Yeah.
Damn, that sounds like an MTV show,
It should be.
but that's cool. I like that idea. Social experiment, basically.
Yeah.
What is it? What would you do?
Yeah, what would you do? They always shoot in New Jersey for some reason.
2008 TV program. Damn.
It's still going on. Like I remember seeing one and it said like this was filmed before COVID, so that's why no one had a mask. So I know it was a
God,
recent
yeah.
show. It still goes.
Is What Would You Do still a show?
I hope so.
Yeah. As of
I really
February
don't think that you
2020.
need to do that. You shouldn't have to tell people. You know, that shouldn't be the only complaint when you're watching entertainment.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not wearing masks.
Yeah, you're right. They took it
Yeah.
overboard, but we remember what that time was, especially in Hollywood. Like in those circles, masks were like the it thing. So I understand why they
Yeah,
did it
like
because
it was
of
your virtue signal,
yeah,
literally on your face.
yeah.
I saw a guy in the AEW crowd this week that was ringside, and he was wearing a mask. So
Yeah.
I hope
What
he
city?
feels better. You know what? I didn't pay attention as to where they are. I normally don't. I don't care unless it's Chicago.
No, but what did you say about February 2021? Did you say it was canceled?
No. That was the. I think it was like the latest one. Sorry, I could control
Oh.
shifting and just see what I.
Maybe it is
From-
canceled then, because if it's been
No,
2
no.
years,
Wait, let's see. No, it wasn't 21. It was the 21st of February 2023. So no. But wait. It has not been cancelled or renewed for a 17th season. So it's neither cancelled nor renewed. It's
oh,
in limbo.
In
See,
hiatus.
no, they got to take a break because you remember when Punked was hot? It was harder to punk everyone because all the celebrities
Because it was like,
were
is this punt?
Yeah, they got to go back and they got to wait for some time to pass. Everyone could think the show doesn't happen anymore, and then go back to New Jersey, get back to that diner.
I think shows like that are dangerous and a bad influence.
What? Punked,
They're-
or you mean what would you do?
Oh,
Yes,
I think
both of them. Both of
I
them.
Why?
Punk was bad.
he's
You
right.
get to see what
because-
people would do. You
no,
get to
no,
see.
no.
What?
Okay, so there's an incident that happened, and I watched this channel. This guy, it's kind of what Rosada was saying. This guy would go around, and he, I guess, was acting up, like trying to take something from someone in a supermarket, and he got shot. And he find out, and he F around. He find out. So like, and he got shot, and the dad was like, this was a harmless thing. No, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know how they are. How are you gonna say? Yeah.
You don't know what they would do. So I
Yeah.
suppose, yeah, it's true. Don't.
Yeah,
Like-
they lead all of these YouTubers out there that go out and do these pranks on
Prank,
people.
bro.
They take their lives into their own hands because these shows, some of the prank shows, don't let anybody else, or some of the reality shows even, don't let people know that they're not reality. Those are scripted. Those are scripted pranks. Those are scripted reality show incidents. You know, it's like, oh, this week we got arrested for this. Da, 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 da. I knew the sheriff on one of these shows because he's an actor friend of mine. He got hired. He's not really a sheriff, but he's got the suit.
Yeah.
Yes, the prankster did get shot. You know, you also see lots of videos where these guys do these pranks where they get punched in the face because the unsuspecting person.
Those are pretty funny.
They
Like,
get
because
punched and
no
they
one
go,
dies.
no, it's the camera right over there.
Like the one where the guy comes out of the trash can or whatever, and straight, boom, down.
Yeah, there was There was a one. There was a funny like one of it. It wasn't real, but the guy pops out of the garbage can. I think it was an
Yeah.
EU version of it, and he shot him. It's
Oh,
like you
God.
you never know.
You
I mean, that was,
don't know.
it's a joke, but like you never know what someone's going through.
It's scary. Yeah.
And I think that they really should stop doing this punked. And this is like, but unfortunately, this is the TikTok like
Yes.
young teens, early 20s crowd that's like really like, oh my god, bro, this is cool. So
When they're invincible, they feel that way. You do. So it's just it's feeding into that part of being a teenager, and
Yeah,
you're all
I mean-
feeding each other with what are you going to do? Ooh, what can you do that makes this person get angry and da da da? Or no.
Yeah, they just take these horrible traits that kids used to have and just do things in school just to get a rise out of people, and they put them out in the street with a couple of cell phones, and try to get famous on the interwebs.
Yeah.
So he got arrested. He got arrested for attempted murder, and even though it was just a prank, that's
Wait,
not an excuse for the cuffs
who
of
got
the law.
arrested for attempted murder?
The one who shot the other guy.
Okay, I
Shot
was
the
gonna.
other one.
Yeah.
No, he got, and rightfully so, even though it was just a prank. That part was not. So, yeah, when you're looking for an honest reaction from strangers, you're going to get them. So please be careful out there
Yeah.
and plan accordingly.
You don't want to find out. Fafo.
No, reality shows are not reality shows. This is just for you YouTubers. Hang on one second here. I got to do this
Yeah.
just to make sure, because it's a PSA.
Change your voice.
Reality shows are
Yes,
scripted.
put the echo.
Those are all.
Let's go.
They're all actors. So, plan your prank. Get your friends together. One of them, and always a new one. One of them gets to be the person who gets the prank played on. That way, you don't get shot. So, end of the PSA for that. But
Yeah.
stay safe out there, America. Stay safe out there, YouTubers. We enjoy your content. We don't want you to die for it.
Yeah.
Hey, Rosales, who can prevent forest fires? I forget. Can you tell me who it is?
Only you can prevent forest fires.
The non-scripted pranks are dangerous. What if it turns out to be an ex-convict? Yeah,
Or a concealed and carry, like it was in
that's
Minnesota.
it.
Wherever that was. So I guess we end on a positive note.
Yeah.
There we go.
This
That's
week's
my
lesson.
ride. I don't know where that honking came from, but we're going to wrap it up, folks. We had a great broadcast. It was a great fun, great show. If you missed the intro, here it is one more time.
Oh, yeah. Dig it.
If you're interested in any of those topics, be sure to replay the stream because we cover all of those and more, and lots of stuff happening. Lots of fun going on with our friends here and the great panel that shows up every week. You never know who's going to show up. So always come back every Sunday, either evening or morning, depending on what part of the world you're in. And
Yeah.
anyway, guys, thanks for being here.
Thanks, everybody. Another gidding.
Make it a great day.
Yeehaw.